Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to day 4 of Growth Week. Hopefully, I've managed to get a slumbering session today as well, and so we're going to jump right into it. Before we start this sleep report, I highly recommend you check out Brovinnie's recent video on energy. It is super lengthy, in detail, and super interesting. You are bound to learn something new or think of something in a new way. So I will link his video in the comments and in the video description. Go check it out. It's amazing, and it's one of those videos you just simply don't want to miss. So here you go. I managed to get another slumbering, I'm pretty sure. So yesterday the threshold was at 30%, and so in this session I had 25% more than usual, which is good for me because I'm on the hunt for Stuffle. Hopefully today's Stuffle will be better than yesterday's Stuffle. If there even is a Stuffle here to begin with, we have to see. And I just now remembered I haven't checked the candies a single time all week, so we should probably do that in this video too. Alright, so I used a growth incense, been doing that all week, and then a Pokemon incense as well. And today is Comfey. I haven't caught a single Comfey, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, we got a Top Belly Riolu. We got a Dodrio. I would really like a Dodrio. It's just not a priority for me personally at this point in time. Sudowoodo Pichu, 1 star, why not? Igglybuff, another Pichu. I see the Comfey. There's no Stuffle here today, but we have a Trump right here. So let's go on with the catching. I'm super curious to see which one of these is hungry. If it is the Comfey, that would be pretty exciting. Maybe I'll drop a couple Great Biscuits on it. If it is the Dodrio, I'm tempted to just call it a day on this one single Pokemon. And then, yeah, I haven't seen this Comfey sleep style before, so gotta collect that as well. I think I might have seen the 1 star before. I guess we'll see the answer right here. No, never before seen Comfey. That was because I spent the Comfey week at Snowdrop looking for Delibird. So, all right, we got a lot of potential Pokemon here to be hungry. Just give me something. Man, why is it always the why not? Alright, what do I do here, folks? We have a Pichu. I don't need a single more Pichu. I have 5 berry finders. 2 of them are absolutely cracked, and 1 of them is just as pristine as you can get it, and that is my current Raichu. I don't need Wartortle. I would like a Dodrio, but I typically don't want to hunt it unless it is hungry. And so it doesn't really leave me with a lot of options here. I think it is the Comfey today. Let's see how this goes. 4 points. Let's count, everyone. We got 4. It's 16 points. So if I feed it 5 Great Biscuits, or 3 if one of them crits. Is it gonna get full or what? There's the crit. If it's not full, we actually have a Pokemon to review in this video. Oh no, a crit all the way there. Nice. I forgot to count properly. So we got a Comfey to review. Let's pop it into the widget so that we are all on the same page on what we're talking about here. And oh, I haven't updated nothing on this one. Oops, that's my bad. Maybe I'll have to post this a little later and update the data, but you know what? I think the better option is to just look it up on RaenonX, and I can give you all the briefing here. So at the very least, the ingredients are correct. It's just the skill rate and the ingredient rate. So let's have a look at Comfey. So RaenonX is linked in the video description. Ingredient rate of 13.9%. That is incredibly low. And skill rate of 2.2. That is really, really low. I remember having a look at Comfey some time ago and just came to the conclusion that I wouldn't use it. And so at the very least, I have one of them now that I can look at and just have in my collection. And so we agreed on 13.9 and 2.20. And that is in percent. And we have updated the widget. Oi, oi, oi. Like that? Oh, what is going on here? Okay, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to copy over something and overwrite it because that was some nonsense. I don't know what this spreadsheet is all about, but there we go. Fixed it. We got Comfey live in the widget here, so that's going to be good. Do I want to catch anything else? Not really. War total, I have a cracked. Blastoise, we're going to have a look at it. God, Dodrio. It would be nice, but I am really just not looking to spend these great biscuits. Only thing I could potentially consider, just for the silliness of it, is to catch a why not. But it is somewhat satisfying to see level 1 there, just into eternity. Same as with the Sudowoodo. And so I think for now, I'm going to call it a day. I'm tempted by the Igglybuff, but I already have a Wigglytuff level 50, so I don't really need it. At some point in time, I would like to get a Ralts so that I can do some double healer stuff at some point. That could be good as a pre-event preparation strategy, especially if I can find a Ralts that has helping bonus and berry finding. Then I can do the pre-event prep at Lapis Lakeside and have berry finding, favored berry, energy for everyone, Gardevoir, and that could be pretty strong. So throughout the day today, I have been doing some minor upgrades on a lot of Pokemon, so my Dream Shard bag is depleted. I have literally the Dream Shards we got here in this session, and that's it. So I have 201 Comfey candies. I am on the hunt for Stuffle, for corn. Wouldn't it be so ironic if the one Comfey I catch, that it is at least double corn? Because then in the short term, I could just settle on the Comfey and use the Comfey. And then go on that long-term, pristine corn farmer that is Stuffle. So for that to work, I need that level 30 to be corn. Let's see it, everyone. It's double ginger. I don't need ginger at all. My Charizard is double ginger. My Tyranitar is ABA. Oh man, that is unfortunate. I think at that point it's not even usable at all, unless somehow these stats are just out of this world, but that would be too silly on the one Comfey. So Ingredient Finder S is good. Inventory is also good. Skill trigger is decent. The skill rate here is too low for it to really matter. It also doesn't have any evolutions. And at that point, you don't want to spend your seeds on it. Helping speed S is good. With a neutral nature, if I at some point get incredibly desperate for corn, I don't think it would even help with that, because 14% multiplied by 1.18 is what, like 16%? It's not gonna cut it, so that is unfortunate. Had it been corn at level 30, I would have considered it in the short term. I rarely do short-term strategies, but I'm not really seeing Comfey long-term, so yeah. Typically, you don't even want to do that, because sometimes the Pokemon get incredible buffs, like Swalot, that is almost at viability at this point in time. and a lot of other things can happen. One of the things that I want to go over in this video is version 1.9. I am so excited. I was just typing nonstop in the nirtheart Discord. Become a YouTube member if you want to join. And oh man, there's a lot of stuff in here. So first of all, this one popped up in the morning, and this is pretty cool. So the 15th of July, there will be a 2-week long event for the 1-year anniversary. And this is something that we have been talking about here on the channel for literally months. It's been with me more or less since I started making Pokemon Sleep videos. And it's all about this Good Sleep Day 12, which is happening on Sunday, July 21st. So that is going to be one insane drowsy power week. And I hope that whatever the event bonuses that are happening for the 1-year anniversary event during that week, I hope that it allows us to nap, because at that point you can just go all out and split that insane drowsy on Sunday into 2. Okay, so there are actually 3 weeks of stuff here. So starting next week, there will be the lead up gift week. So every day that you record sleep, you get an additional 150 sleep points. For me, I am only getting the Master Biscuit, Main Skill Seed, and the Sub Skill Seed. And then long term, I'm just going to build up a bag of sleep points. So this is great for me, and I'm excited about it. And yeah, that's basically what this here says. So, and also beginning on Monday, July 15th, we will be holding a 2-week event, the First Anniversary Fest, which is going to be pretty exciting. Typically, these mobile games tend to really focus on these anniversaries. So 2 weeks of goodies, I'm all for it. And that would mean that Suicune is probably in the break of like August, September, something like that. Because then at the end of October, naturally, it's Halloween. And that's a big thing in this game too. So version 1.9, what's happening? There are a lot of small changes. Addition of a display option for the pop-up that appears when Snorlax's rating goes up. I hope that it's just minimized. I don't like that when it ranks up that it just like clogs up the game for like 20 seconds. I've seen that screen now 1,000 times. It's fine. And then, yeah, they are doing some preparation for the anniversary event, which is nice. And then a trial bundle volume 2, which won't be purchasable by diamonds. It's straight up money, direct. So that's going to be a good bundle, because they tend to be good value. Okay, so here's a fun one. I mentioned Brovinnie put out an amazing video yesterday about energy. This is so funny. Change to the help adjustments based on energy. Help from helper Pokemon with low energy will be slightly more effective, which means his whole graph is inaccurate, which is a big part of that video. It's not like ultimately a huge factor, but you always want your videos to be the most up to date, and that is going to be funny. And here is the big portion of it. They are retroactively changing up some of these dishes instead of introducing new dishes. So green grass soybeans is getting a major buff by being a more important ingredient overall. So the biggest change here is Ninja Curry, which previously has not been a particularly important dish. I wonder if that changes here, because you can see it goes up by 12 ingredients. And typically there are 3 metrics to value a dish by. It is the starting dish bonus, which is the percentage increase of the base ingredient values that you get by cooking the dish. Some dishes have 48%, and then it grows by each dish level. I don't know what that is for the Ninja Curry. And the second thing is the size of that dish, because the dish bonus only applies to the ingredients that the dish requires, and 3, the actual values of those ingredients. And Large Leak is a rare ingredient. It has one of the highest base values in the game. And the fact that large leaks is in Ninja Curry, and the Ninja Curry is getting a buff through total ingredients in the dish, and the fact that it has leaks, that's a big thing. And so water veil, not really important. Huge power donuts, not really important either. But the ninja salad, and this is where it gets super interesting. So ninja salad is getting an increased requirement for green grass soybeans from 15 to 19. That adjustment is barely so that with the current max pot size, you can still cook it without needing the cooking power up. And when I have been running the Tyranitar, which has ginger, beans, ginger, I'm always having too many beans because the Tyranitar also has berry finding, so I run it during night, and it also has a huge inventory because it has inventory L as one of its sub skills, so that's pretty good for me. And Ninja Salad also is one of the best dishes overall in my opinion. It is easy to cook if you have a couple key ingredient specialists, and so the whole discussion yesterday about how a couple of these dishes, if you just max out the dish level, they can be useful even late game. And so the fact that they are retroactively updating some of these dishes is huge, because that can happen again in the future, but you keep the dish level. And that is a big thing, because you can work on the same dish and carry it into the future as they update the game. And so we'll have to see if this becomes a regular occurrence. My guess is potentially they could do some of these adjustments whenever they release a new area. If they don't want to introduce a new ingredient, they can just update some of these dishes, and that's going to be pretty big. And I think that the green grass soybeans in particular was a good choice to buff, because for the most part, you don't really need a lot of beans. And this is something I've secretly been waiting for. I might have said it in a couple of the videos where I really want a golem at some point, but there's no need for it. But I've waited with the investment in the case that you would get the need for it, like in this case. So that is pretty big. And then, yeah, they're talking about some loading times, which is good. And that's about it for version 1.9. And then we'll just have to be on the lookout for this actual 1-year anniversary post. My guess is that is coming next week. They typically like to announce the next event within the current event, unless there is something just like waiting for us that they've talked about in recent times. So yeah, they had the summer festival and they announced the growth week, I'm pretty sure. And then now we're in the growth week and they announced the lead up event to the event. And so yeah, my guess is sometime like Wednesday, Thursday next week, I would suspect that we are getting a big post about this. Maybe as soon as this weekend. We'll just have to see. I'm excited about it, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys are too. So I highly encourage you to have a look at Brovinnie's video, and I have done some changes on my teams that I just want to cover in this video as well. And so essentially, he has a very strict day and night team setup. I have typically had like a main team, side team kind of thing, but this is even more explicit. Like, these are Pokemon we use during the day, and these are Pokemon to use during nighttime. And one of the big points in his videos, and in that video in particular, is how effective it is to use the berry specialists during night. And you will also end up giving a lot of experience to only the berry specialists. And that kind of works in my favor at this point, because if we have a look at my collection overall, like if we just enter the bag this way, I have a lot of ingredient specialists that are very high level. Tyranitar, Ditto, Venusaur, Gengar, Blastoise, and well, Dugtrio is getting there, and Absol as well. And so I kind of need to focus a little bit more on the berry specialists, so having this split is pretty important. And so I'll see if I can figure this out with this kind of setup. I am running into some energy issues, as you can see. And so despite the fact that I'm opening the game quite frequently and my Sylveon is pretty strong, it's not doing the job here perfectly. So I may end up putting the Wigglytuff on the team every now and then. Maybe I'll consider the Slowbro a little bit, or some sort of supplemental energy, not Wobbuffet. And yeah, I would like long term to go for the Gardevoir. I just want to find a pristine one once I first go for it, and then I'm a little bit unsure if it's going to get power crept again, because that's what happened with the Sylveon here. I just got the Sylveon, and like 2 weeks later, Lapis Lakeside was announced, and I was like, oh man. So yeah, I've been cooking the Dream Eater curry all week, and the only bottleneck that I'm having is potatoes. So for the most part, my team has been fully energized, so that's not been the issue. It's just I'm not getting enough potatoes. One of the reasons is Mr. Mime is really fast, but it doesn't really drop all that many ingredients. We can have a look at Mr. Mime. There we go. 20% is decent. It would have been nice with an ingredient finder M, ingredient finding nature on it. So that's something I'm thinking about in terms of long-term potatoes, what I should do. The only problem that I've run into now, though, is some of these Pokemon have been so heavily invested already to where I don't really want to turn around. And so if we have a look at my Venusaur, it kind of is what I need in a potato farmer. It's got all the stuff. It's ingredient finding, ingredient finder M, ingredient finder S coming up at level 75. And this is already 55, so it's not too far off from 60. So with the Dream Eater curry needing potatoes and tomatoes, I think this is just going to be my curry sour, Mr. Salat, even though I use them for curries. So that's the plan, just across the mixed Mr. Mime that I probably won't get to level 60 anytime soon. And then this Venusaur that I will get to level 60, then I should have a decent drop. And yeah, I also have done a lot of upgrades today, so we can cover that quickly too. This is my Honey Venusaur. It's got berry finding, inventory. Neutral nature is just fine, just because there is so much to balance out here. It's got all the skill triggers, which is nice, except the nature. It's got ingredient finder S at level 50, which I will sub-skill. And at that point, this is just a really, really strong level 30 Pokemon that will just slowly get to level 50 eventually. Not in a rush. I'll just use this one for whenever I need honey. And I'm looking to get a Pinsir that is ABB. So essentially, the main Pokemon that I need to be really strong for the desserts is the Pinsir, because then the Pinsir will have 2 honey starting level 1, and then I want apples at level 30 and 60, at the very least at level 30. And at that point, whenever I'm low on the honey, I can tag team the Pinsir and the Venusaur. And then I can hop back on the team here, because it was mostly the berry specialists that I have done some changes to today. So I popped basically all of my candies, all of my dream shards, and I'm getting ready for some events. So the Feraligatr here was a Croconaw earlier, and it's got berry finding S and helping bonus S. And at that point, with a neutral nature, it's more or less as good as you can get it. I also had this Altaria over here. It's mono eggs, which is nice. I don't have a Delibird yet. It's got berry finding S, adamant nature, and it's got 2 of the skill level ups, which is huge, because then this will essentially never, ever, ever need healing whatsoever, because Altaria has a really high skill trigger rate, and at level 5, this is going to recover a lot of energy. So that's pretty exciting. A lot of stuff packed in here, and at level 75, I can sub-skill seed that helping speed. So I have berry finding S, got helping speed M, adamant nature, mono eggs, and a couple of the free main skill seeds. And I think actually at level 100 with that ingredient finder, that's going to be cool as well. So Altaria overall, probably C or B tier. B tier. It's just a very fine specimen of the Altaria, so very stoked about it. Raichu level 55, we've talked about this one at length before, so don't really have to go too hard into it. With overall strategy here, as you can see, it's helping bonus, helping bonus, helping... No. Where is it? Oh, there we go. I forgot the Lucario. I need the Lucario to get to level 75, and then I have a whole bunch of helping bonus berry finders of the berry specialty. So some of these are not the highest level, but I am working on that in particular. The Feraligatr is going to be good for the Suicune event, and whenever the Dragon area is out, then I have some of these to use because they are self-healing berry finders, and Dragonite is another self-healer dragon type, and then we'll have to look at some of the other ingredient specialists, but it could be interesting to see whatever the other types will be combined with the dragon berry, whenever that gets a favored area, because then it's likely that you won't need a healer at all at that area, depending on what you want to do. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, I think I want to cut it off here. Didn't really get a lot of new Pokemon today. I did get a Stuffle Incense today from the mission, so we have that to look forward to tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the version updates and the upcoming events. And check out Brovinnie's recent energy video. I'm counting on you. Let him know in a comment that I sent you. That would be very appreciated. Just say, Nirth sent me here. Love your videos, man. Keep it up. Something like that. All right. See you guys tomorrow.